Hello, everybody. So we will be working on Leetcode 217 contains duplicate. In this case, we have a nums, which is a list of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 1, and we want to return true if the value appears at least twice, and return false if every element is distinct. So I think the intuition here is we basically want to count the frequency of the number in the array. So for example, 1, 2, 3, 1, we want to count each of them. One way to do this is a hash map. So in this case, we are going to have a hash map. Let's call it frequency, um, where our key and value pair is so our key is the number itself, and the value is the frequency, the count. So when the frequency is 2, we will return true. In this case, greater than 1. Our hash map looks something like this. In the first iteration, 1, 1. In the next one, it will be 2, and then the count is 1. Then 3, and the count is 1. And then on the final, last iteration over there, we will check our hash map. So we want to check, does 1 exist in the hash map, or it's already in the hash map itself? It is in this case, so we returns true. All right, so let's get coding. Based on our explanation, we would have to have a hash map to track the frequency of the numbers. Let's call it frequency, and you can initialize a hash map like this. Now, what we're gonna have to do is we have to loop through each number in the nums array. All right, so the first step we would do is we would check if num is in the frequency map. If it is, that means returns true because that is a duplicate. Else, we would initialize the mapping. So that means that it doesn't exist yet, and we would have to add it in. So this in this case, frequency, and then the number itself, and then we said it goes to 1. This is to initialize the number itself. Uh, If we out the loop, that means that we have not found any duplicates, and in this case, we returns false. All right, so let's run some test cases. Contains duplicate nums equals num. This should equals true, and yep, yes it does. Let's change the number. This should equals false because there's no duplicates. And let's try the last one. It should also equals true. And it goes true. All right, let's copy this and put it into Leetcode and test the hidden cases. All right, run it. Yep, and submit. Perfect. 77 out of 77 test cases pass. All right, let's talk about the time complexity. All right, so the time complexity. We are going through the nums array once. This is a one pass loop because we're just running about once. We're not doing multiple times, and we're going through the array nums. Within the loop itself, we are checking if the number exists. within the hash map, and this lookup is out of one time. Insertion is also out of one time. Therefore, the total time complexity of this algorithm, this problem, is out of n, where n is the size of the input array nums. As you can see, we're going through nums once, and in the worst case scenario, the second element would be at the end. Um, so in this case right here, um, we will hit 1 at the end, and therefore the total time complexity is O of n. Let's talk about the space complexity in this case. We are using a hash map, and this hash map could have up to n keys. Therefore, this hash map is O of n space complexity. Therefore, the total space complexity for this algorithm is O of n.